Hey everybody, welcome to the new segment, Fan Focus, with one of my new favorite fans ever. He's Yoshi on the boards. It's Nate Cromwell, right?
Yeah, you got it.
Cool. So why don't you tell everybody how you got involved in Star Citizen? What brought you here?
Well, I was watching the thing that Chris Roberts did at the conference where he was describing. He's this guy. He makes these games. Pew pew.
Pew pew. Oh, pew pew. Of course.
Guy.
Pew pew.
Guy.
Right on.
And I thought he was just going to speak about the fact that kind of reflect on the industry, but he was releasing a game that was in development that he was, starting a fund for. Mm-hmm. So I control-tabbed over and as quickly as possible started throwing money at the screen. Unfortunately, I was one of the guys who helped crash the servers.
Yeah. I was going to ask you about that.
It kept getting slower and slower, and I was like, should I keep hitting refresh?
No, I think thousands of people were doing it at the same time. Hopefully what was happening is your credit card was being charged each time you did that.
Oh, that's how it works?
Why do you think we had such a success?
Right away.
Yeah. Nobody's looking. No, I'm just kidding, obviously kidding. But it did crash, and we also crashed Reddit. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it was just amazing. I mean, we were blown away by the amount of support you got. So, have you played Chris Roberts games before? What?
I played all of the Wing Commander series, and I never played Freelancer, so I'm going back through now and playing Freelancer. There's a 1080 mod on it, so you can actually go and play the game in 1080p.
Nice.
And there's all sorts of, because I really, after the last Wing Commander, drifted away from the Origin games, but then when I came back to that one, there's just so much of a community that's still there for the Freelancer game. People have built mods for it. There's private servers that you can get on, and it's really amazing because the whole Chris Roberts universe really never went away, and now it's back in the forefront of the gaming industry.
Yeah, it's amazing that we can see that. And people have been playing it forever, but for some reason when we would pitch this idea around to publishers, they would just be, oh no, that genre's dead. And if there's anything we've proven, it's not dead.
No, absolutely not.
In fact, it's very vibrant, and we're happy about that. And I'm sure you are too. Now you have an interesting profession. You're a lighting director.
Correct, for concerts. Yeah.
And you're here in Austin for what exactly?
I'm the lighting director for Carrie Underwood currently.
Carrie Underwood.
He's a big fan.
I am a big fan of Carrie Underwood. I mean, she's incredibly talented. You know what's really cool about our community, though, is not so much the game itself is incredible, but so many people out there do things that are sort of related to what we're doing. Mm-hmm. And you are one of those people. You've got a very, very tech-heavy job.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you've got something that we were blown away by and found interesting. So we kind of want to. Can you take us through what you do?
Yeah, really, the development of a video game is a lot like the development of a concert. Mm-hmm. We start with initial designs, both in AutoCAD, Studio Max, 3D, a lot of the same things that you guys do, and then it goes kind of through the same review process. It'll get pitched up to somebody. They'll agree with things. They'll disagree with things. Oh,
you have your community coming on and saying, don't change the titles on the forums.
Well, no, they just want it louder or softer usually.
Oh, right. Okay,
or it's too bright. But then it'll go through an approval process. And whereas you guys then take it to a game engine, we take it to a set designer or a set builder.
Right.
And that sort of thing to really flush it out and make it real and figure out how to load it in and load it out every day.
So that's kind of like inside of a game engine yourself. Right?
Exactly. It's exactly the same thing, just within the lighting world aspect of it.
Well, let's take a look at that and what you do on a daily basis at the concert.
So we're out at the Cedar Park Center, a little bit north of Austin, where Carrie Underwood's going to be playing in just about 40 minutes. You've got the show built in a day, which is a feat in itself.
Absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about how this whole thing comes together.
So first of all, when we're pre-programming, we use visualizers, much like you've seen, the same thing. And then this is the lighting console that we use. So all of these are touch screens. They run palettes, much like an artist has a palette, red, green, blue. We do the same thing with pan and tilt information of where the lights actually go. So it's basically kind of the same thing that what you guys do out there.
It's not unusual. In fact, you're running visualization at the same time you're running the actual live show.
Exactly, and it's all live, exactly in time, real time, both in the visualizer as it is. So what I see is what I get.
So how does your typical day start? You got to load in all this gear that's coming out of the trucks. What's the sequence of getting the rigging up in the air?
We'll start at about 6:30, marking the floor where everything's going to go, all of the positions. We'll start dumping all 12 of the trucks, all of the automation, audio. Then lighting will come in. Usually by about noon, everything's still about this high off the floor. 3 o'clock, I have to slam 200 lights, 200 focus position, check queuing, check spotlights, color correct spotlights, check comm, change the show macros, and then find some time to eat dinner.
It's great to see how visualization results in reality. Now, I'm a little bit of a kind of a techno geek myself. I've been playing around with DMX, which is the control protocol for all the lighting. Same thing. I would love if I could just push a button and make something happen out there. Can I do that?
Sure, absolutely. Pick your favorite button.
All right, let me see. Here we go. Ready? That's amazing. I have never gotten to do that before. So thanks, man. It's so much appreciated.
No problem.
It's been great to have you on the show. Great. Thanks for coming out. And we're going to enjoy Carrie Underwood.
Thanks.
Wow, you're right. That's exactly like it's done in a game. So I see you've got some like names on the back of the thing
big
there.
giant behemoth.
Yeah. What's the story with that?
Well, much as crew guys don't always get notoriety for what they do on a daily basis, loading in the show, loading it out, taking it from city to city. Even before Star Citizen came about, I felt the same way about both computer companies, software developers, and things like that. So one thing that I had done was I had everyone at Origin PC who helped me build this big giant monstrosity, put their names on the top of it.
So what ships do you have? What are you an owner of? What on the community? Yoshi. What does Yoshi have? And
Well, I have the Constellation.
Constellation,
which
good.
was the one that I got when I did
the pony.
Yeah, it's looking really classy.
Yeah, it is. It's a good
looking
ship.
really classy. And it's got space for my friends too. So it's basically, I'm thinking of the Constellation as like the tour bus.
The tour bus.
Is the tour bus, because you got bunk space,
Yeah.
you got the John, and you can go long distances without
Sure.
having to, really refuel or
Fair
pit
enough.
stuff.
Fair enough.
I had the 300i,
Beautiful ship.
that's.
Did you see the renders of that last week in the engine?
It looks gorgeous.
All right.
And
I'm
I
gonna tell
think
Chris
I think I saw it out the window, maybe. Oh no, that was maybe something else.
The
was
Aurora,
was that a
perhaps.
different?
It was either Pete Mackey or the Aurora.
I think I've seen the Aurora two different strange places now.
You might have seen that in last week's episode.
And then the final week, I picked up the Vanduul Fighter.
Nice.
Because I'm thinking my character is going to be, very much. First of all, he's going to be a citizen,
Right.
And he's going to be a sterling example of what a citizen is. He's going to help out when he can. He's going to get all those bad pirates. But then maybe he wants to do some shady stuff on the side.
Yes, he does.
Maybe he needs that really stealthy little Vanduul fighter to go and sneak around and maybe think that, hey, who did that? I don't know.
Well,
I couldn't see the ID.
I'll help you get him. For 1,000 credits, I'll be happy to sign on and go get that guy.
And so maybe that's going to be the dichotomy of him between every time he goes out in the Vanduul, it's really he's putting everything out on the line, because if he gets caught, then he's going to be in trouble.
Right, you lose your reputation.
Exactly.
I mean, reputation is a big deal in our universe. And you've been more than generous with us. You've given 8 tickets to some of the crew here in Austin.
Yep.
To go check out the event. And so let's take a look at that Carrie Underwood show.
Hey, thanks again, Nate. You fans are awesome, man. We love you all.
Thanks, Nate. It was great.
Wow, that was amazing. I mean, I know that Bryan had a great time, Mike and Mark and the girls. Really, really nice of you.
Yeah, they had a lot of fun.
Want to thank you very much for showing us what you do, for making us feel, I mean, it's amazing. I think one of the things that's cool about being in the community is we're all sort of intertwined. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? A lot of the community we're all tech heads.
Of all the video games that I have followed before they actually get to full production, I've never felt more like in a community as I do with this one. Both in the forums, with everything peripheral sites around this,
Right.
it's one of the. Plus, we get a sneak peek of how the video games get developed.
That's true.
Which is something that me as a fan, and I know a lot of other people have always wanted to see, but don't have the access to.
Well, we're happy to do that. I mean, that's what we're here about. That's why we are. That's why we're so connected. We're kind of reaching out and having a virtual handshake with the fans, because then you guys are helping driving the game, making it better. So for that, I thank you. Fan Focus, Nate Cromwell, Yoshi.